Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to this lovely, uplifting uh, fairy tale about Old West heroes and their six shooters. Just hanging out, getting in saloon fights, and you know, digging for gold in the hills, and fighting off the end of the world, and becoming possessed by strange old beings, and the building weird steampunk replacements for other people's body parts that have been stolen slash have developed mind of their own and run off to murder people. You know, as happens in the Old West. There's the Cowboys and Cthulhu. It leverages the Call of Cthulhu Down Darker Trails supplement, which is very much about the Weird West. And this is our second story arc, and I think we're getting close, maybe actually at the end of this particular story arc. There's not much more horrific it can get. So we'll see if folks make it out. But for perhaps the last time, why don't you introduce your characters and tell us a little bit about what's going on in their head at the particular moment. Starting with you, Erthos.
Hey everybody, my name is Erthos. You can see me in chat here and in friends channels playing Jack, who just watched Anna crumple to the floor and is pretty sure that he's next. Misha.
Hi, I'm Misha _less than 3 here on Twitch. I mostly hang out here or at Justice TV stream channels or any of our friends who are here who stream. They all do it now, I think. At any rate, I'm playing Minnie, and Minnie is also watching Anna get stabbed real good. Looks kind of dead. Is wondering if they can still bargain with the horrible spider lady, or if they need to shoot her in order to try to not make Anna not dead. Real shame that she's the doctor, though. But at least Arson's all right with his light hand. That is very good. Needs more research. Tough.
Hi, I'm 98 Tough Love, Tough Dwarf Dwarfleton, some other variety nickname. I am playing Elaine. Elaine's having an interesting day. Anna just died, also slightly low-key possessed by like an eldritch god thing that sometimes manifests in a deer skull that I rip out of my own head, so that's cool. And yeah, we're like kind of weighing the pros and cons of just fully losing our mind and seeing what we can do with the cool magic of this world. So we'll see how that goes. Go villain.
I'm your only villain or a villain. I'm playing Felix. So Felix actually kind of put him in itself an interesting spot. He actually didn't see Anna get stabbed, but he did hear the gunshot. He was actually behind the spider monster thing. So he actually doesn't know kind of what's going on. But he heard a gunshot, so he might just react on that. Yeah. Jeff?
Hey everybody, I'm Chev. I'm playing Arson, a former lawman / investigator who turned to kind of an odd job deal. Right now, he I would say his mental state is like a TV showing nothing but static, but like red colored static. Just not super comprehending, just trying to, because he just watched like one of the people closest to him in life get like probably fatally stabbed right in front of him, so he's not doing too great. He's on a knife's edge right now, so I guess we'll see how that goes. He also has a nuclear hand, so who knows what's gonna happen there.
And the kind of potentially dead person in question. Hi. I feel like I'd like to think Anna's having a full cinematic movie showing of her life in her head. She's seeing it all flash. She's like, oh God, this is, she's going through it. Other than that, I don't really know what's happening to her. Except it was sad she had to shoot her old teacher who became a spider lady, who's now needs to die before she tries to kill everyone else.
Good luck. So, well, to clarify, after Professor Watson impaled Anna on one of her scythe-like legs and then let her slowly, slurpingly slide down it into the rapidly pooling blood and viscera on the floor, Anna's heart is technically still beating. But it doesn't look great. It's one of those, ooh, do I leave it in or do I pull it out? Do I leave it in or do I pull it out? I'm not sure. Kind of situations. At which point, Professor Watson will begin to turn to the rest of the group as she pulls the appendage out of your torso. There's probably even a little bit of a groan because she had embedded it several inches into the wooden floor beneath. So there's probably a groan pop as she frees it. And your body probably wiggles loosely, creating waves in the spreading blood. There's probably a not particularly settling whistling noise from one of your punctured lungs. What happens? Thanks for the boon, Meg. They'll need it.
Screaming probably from here.
Yeah.
Screaming from me, thanks.
Yeah, probably screaming.
Yeah, same. Jack definitely screams and probably tries to pull out his pistol and shoot while running away.
All
Alex
right.
probably does the same. Is after hearing the gunshot, he would probably fire 2 shots off.
Well, excellent. So, remind me of your talents. Do any of those come into bear? I mean, you're both, well, actually, either way, you're both carrying firearms.
Yeah, for Jack, he's got a photographic memory, which helps for knowledge checks, and then he's got keen vision, which helps with spot hidden. But that's it.
All right. So I'm going to say for you, and given where you're positioned, Jack, because you were right next to Anna, basically, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
So I want you to go ahead and give me a spot hidden. I'm going to make it hard, though, because you are, shall we say, slightly distracted as Anna writhes and her arm, as she loses consciousness, like slowly reaches out towards your boot.
So that's still an extreme success. That's an 8.
Wow. Wow. Extreme success on a hard.
Yeah, so normally I have a 60, so a hard would make that a 30.
Excellent. Excellent.
Yeah, so 8 out of 30.
As Professor Watson turns, and she's not actually turning toward you, she's turning toward Arson and Minnie. Well, Minnie is standing in front of Arson, but she has several times hinted that she's very, very interested in what Minnie brought to her as the key to widening and making permanent the connection between this world and the world that you know, as a necessary step for the advent of the flood. As she does, you happen, and remember, she's elevated relatively high, so you are about at midriff. Your eye line is right at midriff on her. As she turns, you see where her clothing has been kind of blown apart from Anna's point blank shot. And you see not what you would expect to see. Like, you've shot ghouls, you know what happens with them, and just a hole punches through and it doesn't seem to bother them. And you certainly have shot people and seen people shot. What you see is almost like someone shot a statue. There's not a hole, there's a chip with cracks around it. But in the depth of that chip, or that divot that the bullet dug out, there is a writhing, fuzzy black mass
I am exactly for that chip then.
All right. That I think is going to be neat and extreme.
Sure.
Now, you can steady yourself, aim, which would give you advantage. I'm going to say in order to do that, I'm going to need a sanity roll. I didn't make you roll sanity because your friend got skewered, because you've seen plenty of
Worst.
horror today.
Yeah.
This is it's pretty horrific, but it's not as horrific as faceless flying creatures trying to claw you to bits or any of the other stuff that happened today.
I'm going to use a minor boon
Okay.
to pass that sanity check.
All right. Your head just starts to swim, right? There's so much going on. You see this and you try to figure it out. And in trying to figure it out is where you start to lose your grip on the here and now, because the potential is awful of what that means. But then your training and somewhat cavalier nature takes over, and you remind yourself that there's a simple task at hand, and that's to protect Anna, protect your friends from this threat. So go ahead and make that roll.
All right, and you said I get it with advantage?
Yeah. So that's 2 dice on the 10s.
Yep.
And choose the lowest. Hi, Mara.
Ironically, it won't matter because it's the same. So then it's a 28. Normally my handguns is a 50.
Yeah. So you're looking for a 12, basically. Yeah, with advantage because it's still extreme. There's stuff you can do. We have lots and lots of boons with one
Yeah, I
more
was gonna
from
say,
Meg.
I'll use another minor boon then, and then I'll use, so that would take me to an 18.
Yeah.
And then I can use 6 points of luck.
All right. Mish, will you manage the boonage? That's 2 minors. You already did it. So that's just 1 more minor. Cool. Yes. So you are gonna miss. Like just that moment of delay as you had to get yourself back together. She's whirling really, really quickly. And as you track, you're fast. You're a good gunfighter, but you're not as fast as her, especially with all those legs. So time slows down and you resign yourself that, well, maybe if I shoot her, at least it will attract her attention from my friends. But she catches your movement out of the corner of her eye and very unwisely slows her turn and slightly arcs back to look at you, just in time lining up for you to twitch your pistol down a centimeter. And you have that feeling that you've had only a few times in your life, where you aren't aiming with your hand or your eyes. It's like the bullet is already there. And all you have to do is be at the right moment to pull the trigger. So it's a very zen, almost peaceful experience as the bullet explodes or the gun explodes in gunpowder and noise and light, which you don't even really hear, as the smoke wafts past your face, as the bullet in slow time for you seeks exactly that divot. And there's a sickening squelching noise, which you probably can't hear it because of the gunfire, but it's almost like you can feel the squelch as the bullet sinks deep into her body. You have her attention. What is everyone else doing?
Arson would have been looking for the first opportunity he could to get to Anna's side to try and see, like, administer first aid, or just he's probably not even like thinking about it like that coherently, like, oh, I gotta go see if she's still alive, or he's just kind of like, okay, get over to Anna, see what I can do.
Yes.
Elena's also probably there, running over to Anna.
Okay. So Arson and Elaine are going to go over to Anna. What are Anna, Minnie, and Felix doing? I mean, Anna, you don't have that many options, but there's some stuff you can do.
Do you want to bleed quickly or a moderate pace?
How much do you thrash around?
Felix would probably shoot off 2 magic bullets.
Yes.
So he has quick draw and quick shot, so I can spend 10 luck points to fire 2 shots.
Yep.
So I'm going to go ahead and spend those 10 luck points. The first one is 34 under 95.
Lovely. Hard success.
And then the second one is a 40 under 95.
Excellent. So 2 hard successes. So go ahead and add double a die because of the magic, and then double a die and add a die because you got hard successes and you're using the magic dice, the magic bullets.
So double the die and max 1?
No, that would be for an extreme success. So if your normal is D10, I think, right? Roll 3. Roll 3.
Okay.
1 for the hard success and 1 for the magic.
A 9.
Because her protective shell is broken.
17?
Ooh.
17 total? Well, would I do? It's 2 shots, right? So
Yeah.
it would be.
And then roll again for the second shot. Same damage. Same dice.
So.
Yeah, three more D10. So a total of 6 D10.
Okay.
Which is a lot.
Yeah. It's 9, 5, 14, and another 10. So 24, 25, 26.
So 43 total. You don't know what it was. The first bullet hits kind of by her shoulder blade. And you can almost see as like her shoulder from like where the neck joins to kind of down in her ribs. It's almost like it cracks and moves in a way like a statue that's breaking apart. And there's immediately some sort of ooze darkening her clothing along a line. The second shot hits her center mass, or maybe like, because her back is largely turned to you, maybe like more than small of the back. And you don't know what's happened to her anatomy, but it was a fortuitous shot because her legs begin to pop off. Almost like they're disengaging. And her forward momentum carries her toward Jack. But it's no longer a rush of attack. It's more like a stumble as this living support structure that's been carrying her around begins to simply disengage from her. She half launches herself, half stumbles toward Jack.
So as I see her kind of start falling, I'm going to start sprinting towards her.
Towards her. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, easy enough. You can like run
I
up
want to.
and get
I was
ready
gonna
to
jump on her back. Is kind of what I'm wanting to do.
So yeah, well the camera will switch away as you pew pew and then just start booking and then launch yourself into the air as she's falling forward toward Jack. Behind you and around you we see Minnie, Elaine, and Arson rushing to Anna's side. Probably slipping a bit in the blood pool. I mean, it's slippery. The good news, it's more of a chest wound than a gut wound. Because gut wounds are real gross.
Things start leaking out of you and stuff.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
It's more of that sharp pain, not that dull stuff that just goes on forever.
Well, and Anna, you haven't felt any pain yet. Because it's only been a few seconds. And some part of your mind is aware that it's bad. And that the question now is which kills you first, the wound or the shock. So part of your analytical doctor mind is doing a little triage and realizing it's like, well, sometimes the shock gets people before the gross damage from a wound like this actually shuts them down. So, what's happening in that little tableau?
Do some magic or something, I say to Elaine. That's my first aid. That's all I know.
I'm not a magic.
Magic can fix things, right? Do magic.
Oh God. Well. Do none of us know first? Well, I mean,
Well,
first,
listen,
it's
I
not really gonna
probably
save
am working
here,
with
but-
Arson. Sorry, like the basic of like, well, she bleeding from the giant hole. Put something on it.
Yeah, I think
Right.
that would be Arson's first idea is like he saw her get stabbed. He's seen stab wounds before. Like as soon as he gets to her side, I think what he does is he's gonna try and like put pressure on the wound and stop the bleeding. So just kind of like, you know, find the wound, stick his hand in, and try to put like pressure on it.
Which hand?
Yeah, bro, which hand?
Oh no.
It would be the right hand.
I was going to say, is Arson right or left-handed?
He's right-handed. It would be his dominant hand. He's not thinking. He's not in a position to think about it. So he's gonna be. He's gonna be putting the radium hand in.
Very, very potentially interesting. All right. So
Yeah.
Minnie is yelling at Elaine to use magic.
Mm-hmm.
Arson has just stuffed his weird mechanical hand in Anna's torso.
Don't we use cloth before our hands?
I mean, it's been giving off enough radiation. It's probably sanitary. I am going to need a roll for that first aid, though, Arson.
Absolutely.
Then I'm very curious what Elaine's going to pull out of her bag of tricks.
Where's my?
Find out.
Okay. I'm spending a bunch of luck on this because I have a 30.
We have
I rolled a-
boons.
Oh yeah. In that case, I am going to use a major boon.
Okay.
I'm flipping this 42 into a 24 under 30.
Beautiful. So, yes, instinctively, you cram your weird glowing radioactive hand into Anna's torso wound. And I mean, it does stop the blood from squirting out. So that's good. And it does buy Anna a bit more time before she expires. So she is not going to die at the end of everyone taking their turn this time. Taking their action this turn. So well done. Maybe. So, Elaine.
Yeah. Well, I just watched that happen. It's maybe not ideal.
Well,
But at
so
least she's not about to. Yeah.
and you're still super unwell mentally.
Yeah, I had a bad day.
We'll just say you're
Good bad
closer.
day.
You are more in tune with your passenger. So, I would like to offer you a solution.
Okay.
You think, with some luck, your passenger can help you fix this.
I think they can too.
But I would also like to offer you a consequence, which is, and this is happening to you instinctively, the challenge is that Anna's body is no longer particularly good at holding her soul in. And what happens if you don't eat the soul, right? Because that's part of the deal. But if you choose not to eat the soul, it goes on to some other place. It's possible to anchor it. It's probably not what one would think of as a particularly good thing to do in a moral sense. But you think, and again, with some luck, it might prevent her body and soul from, separating permanently.
Yeah, I think that is probably about as good as I'm gonna do. Because I'm not a doctor.
So this is effectively a modification of remortification.
Okay.
It is, however, going to cost a lot of magic points.
Okay.
Remortification typically costs what?
It just costs sanity.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to say this is going to cost magic points and sanity.
Okay.
It's going to double the sanity cost, and I'm going to say it's going to cost. Oh, what is fair? You know what? I think it's fair if it is random.
Okay.
So I think in this case, I would like you to roll. Ooh, okay. Your current. I would like you to roll 2d10. And then also the 2d2 for the sanity loss. And we'll see what happens if the magic cost is more than the magic points you have.
Oh boy. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Got a 6 and a 4, so 10.
All right. So draining like almost every bit of magic in you. You switch to a point of view where you can see Anna. And it's almost like she's on a dividing line. Like part of her has begun to move to that other place where you can call the dead back from. And in that space, it's almost like you're standing with Anna and she's in a doorway. And she's halfway through. And there's light on the other side, but you can't perceive it. So it's almost like she's bisected. The part that you can see in this shady realm and the part that's now invisible to you. And you can almost feel the pull as she's being drawn across this threshold. But you reach out and grab her. It's not exactly your hand. In this space, it's a little pale, it's a little shaggy. You could do with a manicure. But you reach, and with a surprising amount of effort, you begin to draw her back, and for every inch you can feel the magical essence flowing out of you. Almost like it's being used to replace the energy of Anna's spirit that has already transitioned to the other side. Like your life force is being exchanged. But with just the last tiny bit of reserve, you are able to pull her back. Job well done. What everyone else sees is, with Arson's fist jammed in Anna's ribs, Elaine steps forward, eyes roll back, chanting begins, and you see the translucent, ghostly form of Anna first begin to sink into the floor, and then Elaine redoubles and kind of claws down toward it, almost like her fingers are elongating. She doesn't contact it, but just very clearly focused and intent, and then she grabs the air, and there's a fine tendril of some sort of substance that connects Elaine's hand and Anna's spirit. And Elaine begins to pull. Sweat pops out on her forehead. Her body begins to tremble. She begins to cry tears of dark, dark blood as this guttural, throat-ripping chanting pours out of her mouth at ever-increasing cadence. She pulls and up and up and up until Anna floats free in front of you. Anna, you can see the scene of all of your friends standing around. You look down and you see your worse for wear body. You watch as the last beats of your heart stop now that the animating force has been removed. And then you feel a pull downward toward your body as whatever force Elaine was exercising dies out, and she falls back and swoons against one of the bookcases. You feel like gravity all of a sudden drawing you back toward your body. You flinch almost, expecting to return to your body and feel pain. What Anna doesn't see, and maybe Elaine doesn't either because you're not doing very well, but everyone else who's right there sees, is that Anna's soul, for lack of a better word, is drawn downward, but not into her body. Well, technically, it's into something that is currently in her body. We have established that Arson's radium crystal that powers your mechanical hand has a tendency to absorb supernatural energies. And it does. Anna, you have a moment where you are bathed in beautiful blue light, the Cherenkov radiation blue. And then you blink. Anna's body blinks. Anna, you feel fine. You try to sit up. It's kind of hard with Arson's fist in you. But good news is the bleeding has stopped and there is no pain. Well done. You saved Anna.
Yay. So just Am I, because the remortification is 1d6 plus 1 sanity, am I rolling
Yeah.
the d6 twice?
Yeah, do that twice. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I got a 6 and a 2. So I think I took 10
Yeah.
sanity
Yeah.
on that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you can't get more crazy than you are.
No, I'm pretty lost.
You'll be all right. You could go to work on the magic. So Anna's soul is in the hand, or Anna ended up back in Anna?
Anna's
Yes.
body is currently looking around and moving.
Okay.
Is like you saw that essence of her start moving down to like a mist flowing back down towards the body, and then as the mist got close to the hand, it all got sucked into Arson's hand.
Okay.
And then after like a beat, Anna starts blinking and looking around.
Is Arson's hand still in Anna's
Unless
chest wound?
unless or until Arson moves it, which he doesn't have time to because we're switching back to the other frame. So
yes.
as Professor Watson stumbles towards you, and you can tell, Jack, that something's very wrong with her right side. That arm is not working particularly well. It's kind of twitching in an erratic way, but her left arm kind of reaches out and with great strength kind of grabs you right here. It's very painful, but it's more like she's catching herself to stabilize herself. And then you feel another thud as Felix tackles her. So I would like to know how well that works for everyone. I think I'm going to need a dex for sure from Jack to not fall down. And I suppose that's a fighting from you, Felix.
Jack succeeds with a 62 under 80.
Well done.
That is a 32 under 65 for fighting.
So hard success. Excellent. And you weren't looking to cause damage. You were just looking to tackle her, and yeah.
Correct. Just kind of bind and just have something on her to distract.
So Felix, when you tackle her, it's enough at an angle that you are actually able to rip her off of Jack. Jack, she grabs a big old hunk of your meat and doesn't want to let go. You're going to have a wicked bruise, but she is not strong enough with just that one hand on your clothing to stop herself from falling, although you do stumble. So Felix and the professor are now tussling around on the ground. Great. Hey, Felix?
Hey, what's up?
Would you like to dodge or fight back?
We're gonna go ahead and do dodge.
Okay.
Yeah, bud.
How'd you do?
How'd you do?
She got a hard success, but not an extreme success.
I got a 85 over 73.
Oh. Would you now also like to give me a constitution?
Sure. That is a 40 under 70.
Okay. So, as you're tussling around, she does kind of claw at you. But she has other things on her mind. Although you can almost hear the shifting of her anatomy as the various kind of holes, and there's something deeply wrong in the center of her. At least her face and her left side seem to be just fine. And she, with great focus and intention, but a surprising amount of gentleness, reaches, grabs the back of your head, and pulls you toward her. Gives you a nice little smooch.
Is it with tongue?
Well, it's not tongue, unless her tongue is made of eldritch spores, but something gets all up in your grill. Something black and furry, granular. But the good news is, for whatever reason, it doesn't go directly to your brain. So that was her go. Jack, I'm going to say you're pretty perceptive. It's hard for Felix to tell, but you can just see this stuff just crawling out of her, not just into Felix's mouth, but around the side of his face. And it's almost like you can see whatever it was that was starting to bulge and move underneath her clothing start to shrivel as some large amount of substance is now attempting to envelop Felix. What would you like to do? You're at the top of the round.
Vomit in my mouth a little bit.
Cool. It's a trend.
It's sure. I think after that, because Jack definitely doesn't want to get anywhere near it, but he'll try and shoot her in the head.
Okay. Now, remind me, do you have any magic bullets?
I do not.
Okay.
I think I'm the only one that has magic bullets, if I remember correctly.
Yes. So no magic bullets, but that is a regular success, a 39 under 50.
Do your damage.
6 points.
So you kind of, like, she's kind of got Felix up close, so you kind of have to angle it strangely so you don't risk hitting Felix.
Yeah, I don't want to hit Felix. I mostly just want to get her attention away from Felix so he doesn't become a news person.
And I will say, because you had to angle it, and part of you instinctively realizes maybe what's she made of, but there might be a ricochet. So you angle it kind of at an odd angle. And what it does is it enters her face right about here. And then this whole chunk of the left side of her face just blows off. As like a porcelain shell that flies through the air, hits a table, bounces off, and then spins on the floor. Little small tendrils of that black substance adhering to the inside, reaching, waving in the air, seeking to reconnect to the mass. And then what was there underneath begins to also pour out. The deflation of the rest of her body accelerates.
Oh boy.
Cool. Who else wants to do something?
Can I grab the second magic bomb that I have? It's like a Molotov magic bomb thing.
Sure can.
And smash it on her head.
Sure can. Now, do you want to smash it on the side of her face that looks completely unfazed, or on the side of her face that's now streaming death and destruction at you?
So, from kind of what I gathered is you said that it kind of was spewing out of her mouth and kind of just it developed my head, right?
It's spewing out of her mouth, and it can't all go in your mouth, so it's kind of going along the sides. And now that Jack has blown this part of her head out, that part is just streaming out as well. It opened in an orifice.
I would probably just grab it with my right hand and just smash it on the side of her head. So I don't.
Which
really
would mean the left side of her head. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. All right. Roll it up. I think that this is a fighting, not a throw, because there's no range involved. You're gonna want to do well on this one.
That's a 41 under 65.
Are you satisfied with that?
So I was thinking, can I use a major boon and flip those and make it a 14 out of 65?
That sounds nice.
Which is an extreme success. Yes.
All right, I'll go ahead and use one of those then.
Excellent. Well. And again, you're most, to your point, you're mostly fighting blind. You just reach down, grab it, and smash. Again, Jack, because you're right there, you have the advantage of seeing as what Felix basically does is just stuff this bomb into whatever it is that's inside her now cracked open shell of a skull. And then you can see as he pulls his hand back, like the tendrils almost don't want to let go. There's a little resistance. And it's almost like someone threw something into a pit of tar. And you're like, oh, it's gone. Like it didn't break. And then there is a little tink, tink, tink sound. It's like you just, for whatever reason, there's a moment where everyone gets quiet for like a second. Just enough for you, Jack, to hear the sound of the glass vial tink cracking. I would like everyone to give me a constitution. Everyone who is in the room. Anna, yes, also Anna.
9 under 70.
Well done.
3 under 50.
Well done. That makes perfect
Nice.
sense.
Also a
5 under
3 under 50.
60.
Well done.
Wow.
I got
Oh,
11
great.
out of.
I think Jack is
50.
probably hiding behind one of the like pieces of her.
So Anna succeeded, yes. And Elaine?
Yep, 5 under 60.
Everyone got really, really good rolls.
Did we?
Yes.
9 under 70.
Oh wow, we
Everyone
did.
got fantastic rolls. So you see everything that happens. Please give me a sanity check.
Aw.
Aw.
Uh,
Oh, 15 under 32. Yay.
85 over 61.
Oh, good.
88 over 60.
Good.
43 under 46.
Good.
I got an 84 out of 30.
Yeah, you were just going to fail the entire time because of what's going on with your situation. Anyway.
84 over 34.
Okay. So it makes sense. So what happens is it's not quite combustion. It's more like incandescence. As the vial breaks and the mixture of gunpowder and special radium inside the bomb begins to interact. Rather, you would expect explosively. It's more like smoke powder. It's more like a slow burn. But instead of giving off smoke, it gives off an almost viscous light that first pierces through this massive chunk of her exposed interior substance, like a spotlight casting irregular shapes and shadows around this chamber. No expression on her face. Then it begins to burn through her one solid eye, and then begins to burn through her open mouth, consuming the flood of spores that were attempting to invade Felix, then burning through the clothes that were the only thing holding her shoulder on. And she becomes like a lighthouse of this beautiful incandescence, Minnie. She has enough will, or perhaps it's instinct, to stand as she gets brighter and brighter and brighter. And somehow you can tell more and more hollow as whatever it was inside her is burned away. She totters a bit as the light begins to flicker and sputter as if running out of fuel. And as the light dims, it's like looking at a jack-o'-lantern with a little flickering candle that's going out, because you can see the flickering light in her wrecked skull and flickering out of the holes in her body. She then collapses to the floor and breaks into several large chunks. Well done. What happens now?
I was going to, like, I don't know, shoot her, but everyone's on top of it. So I'm probably looking at all of that. And it seems like it's handled. And I'll just be like, everyone okay? And I turn and look at Anna.
Yeah. Arson is not even really like verbal. He's just kind of like muttering like, oh no, oh no, oh no. And he's got his like he's not removing the hand from the wound because he thinks that that'll just like kill Anna immediately from blood loss. And my cat is climbing all over me. Basically he's just like trying to like figure out what first aid needs to happen, or if anything. And I think he, hasn't really registered that Anna is like, breathing and like blinking and
Oh, she's
seems to
not
be a little
breathing.
Oh, she's not breathing?
No, she's in zombie mode, but I don't think we are quite aware of that yet,
Yeah,
because
he's
of
not
what's
equipped to
going on.
recognize that.
I have a question.
Mhm.
Am I in control of my body?
Yeah.
Or am...
Yeah, I think it feels kind of to you like Arson is like holding you down. It's not really painful. You just feel a little bit of pressure. And from where you are, you can look down and see that Arson's got his hand pushed. I mean, I don't know if you register that it's inside you, but it looks like he's pushing you down. And probably your instinct is to grab it and like get him off you.
Hey. Do we...
Nope.
we...
No, hold still. Listen, you lost a lot of blood. Just hold still. I think this is the only thing keeping you alive.
So Anna begins to try to speak. And it kind of comes out as a croaky, because you didn't take a breath. And then you kind of have to, oh yeah, take a breath. And then you can speak.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
manuals,
what
I can't hear
getting
you.
used to. I feel like Anna's struggling to take a breath and then say a word and then figure out the rhythm of breathing again manually. But
Yeah.
also patting Arson very strongly on the shoulder. Stop!
No, hang on. He's just like repeating it. It's just like, no, hold on. You'll be like, we're, and he's like looking around for anyone else who can help. Like, just like, Minnie, do you have your bag? Like, where's Anna's first aid kit?
Yeah. I got my bag.
So how did
Minnie
everyone
says,
do
thinking
on
on
their
camera.
sanity checks?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Remember
very
that I
bad.
failed it for sure?
And
did.
you failed yours, right? So why don't y'all roll that up with a D8, please?
I got a 15 under 32. Am I
Yeah.
good?
One for those who succeeded.
One.
Oh, I'm
Four.
probably thinking about that light. I got 7.
Oh yeah. Hmm. What do we think? What do we think makes sense? Oh, Minnie.
Yeah.
You have always enjoyed puzzles, mechanical puzzles, understanding how pieces fit together. I think you have a compulsion to put Professor Watson back together. As almost like a forensic exercise of understanding. Like if a machine had failed, you'd want to put the pieces back together to understand what the failure point was. So while everyone else is doing whatever they're doing, you're very calmly collecting the bits, examining how they fit together.
And once it's together, I can take a picture.
Yes. There might be enough of an after image of that light to give you a better understanding of its workings.
Of course. I need to put it together.
Yes,
Take a picture. Don't mind me.
definitely.
I'm not
Definitely.
saying this. I'm just doing it.
Yes.
After being like, these two, they'll figure it out.
Did anyone else lose 5 or more? Okay, good. So, go about your business.
Minnie, Jack, Felix, Elaine, can somebody help me out over here?
Jack's kind of staring into the void right now and trying to process what he just saw.
Elaine's a little loopy right now.
Felix is trying to force himself to throw up.
Yep.
What a
Go ahead and
well-put
give-
together group, guy.
Go ahead and give me another constitution there, Felix.
Okay. That is a 6. Nope, my bad. 26 under 70.
Well done. Only one more to go. And you are successful at expelling a good amount of it from your lungs, nose, and stomach.
Yeah.
But she got you good. And we'll see.
Hey,
Um,
hey, Minnie. Maybe we should make some more of those bombs. That worked really well, actually.
I will wordlessly just hand him the one that I'm carrying as I'm walking back and forth with a variety of parts.
I'm gonna say you're like you hold out your dress like a little bit of a bag. You're holding up the hem and are just picking up these hollow pieces of Professor Watson and loading them up. And then there's a nearby work table that you can begin to attempt to reassemble them.
When Jack is able to compose himself, he goes over to Felix and kind of like pats him on the back and be like, You gonna be okay there, bud?
She got me good. I don't know if she used tongue or not.
What do you mean you don't know? What, didn't you feel that?
It was kind of furry and oozy. I don't know, man. It's never something I've ever felt before.
I mean, you're probably never gonna feel it again. So, good news.
Good news. Good news.
Hey, Jack. Are you
Uh-huh.
looking at Felix?
Yeah, I'm looking at Felix. I'm standing next to him.
Well, but you could be totally distracted and not paying any attention, or you could be checking him out and see how he's doing.
Jack is more just kind of looking Felix over and taking Felix at his word, but he's definitely not looking at Minnie or Anna or any other situation in the room.
Okay. Well, I think it makes sense that you're somewhat distracted. You're kind of just surfacely aware that he's still breathing. So, okay,
Yeah.
cool. All right. Just curious.
Yeah, Jack's not actively worried about his health because other than seeing a bunch of weird black stuff
Yeah.
going into his mouth, he didn't look like he was hurt.
Yeah. So, what happens now?
I think Arson probably would have eventually figured this is not tenable. We need to do a swapperoonie, and he's been he grabs Anna's hand and is like, okay, you got to put pressure here, and I'm gonna take my hand out. Just we got to swap it.
Yeah, you. And Anna, you don't feel any particular need. It's why am I putting my hand on my own stomach? Why? You're fine.
I feel great. In fact, I don't feel anything at all.
You feel a little chilly.
Oh, cold. There's a breeze in here.
Yeah.
Arson is just kind of he's he was squatted down. He's just kind of thrown himself back and just kind of sitting on the ground, just kind of looking around, trying to see just try take focus and take in the scene of everything that's happened around, because he hadn't really been paying attention. What happened? What did you kill her?
Yeah, me and Jack soloed the final boss.
That was
Wow, you
just
guys played in blood.
Thank you.
It's table talk. It's adorable. You think she's the final boss, but anyway, go ahead.
Yeah.
There's still so many more here.
Yeah,
That's not true.
I know.
We're gonna die.
Yeah. So while you guys were, laying in blood, me and Jack kind of soloed the final boss here. So we should probably get out of here.
I mean, like, what we saw the door, right? Like, I mean, is she the door? Is this the door? Is that is this whole place the door? Like, what?
You the door? Am I the door? Is she the
we-
door?
That's an
Are we
Anna
on the door?
question, really.
Hold
Does
the
the door
door.
exist?
The door, that's another one.
Well, more to the point, who or what is the key? That was what she was talking about mere moments ago. I think it's been a few weeks for the players, but the characters would very clearly remember that she was less focused on really anything other than the key
And
to
more-
opening it.
And more of your hand arson.
Hmm.
Hey, Felix, go ahead and give me one last con, please.
Yep. Oh, and a good one for the last roll here. That is a 2.
Well done. Felix's life is going to be slightly less interesting, but that's fine. As Felix coughs out, like probably kind of has your hand up. Felix probably has his hand up on Jack's shoulder, just a little bit as he bends over and coughs and hacks and retches. At this point, Jack, you can't help but notice that the substance is not only coming out of Felix's nose and mouth, it's also like it's draining from under his skin. You didn't look close enough and didn't really have time to notice, but there was some rapid infiltration. But Felix's iron constitution is apparently sufficient to drive it off. However, you do see, it's almost like a piece is trying to like it's not close enough to any opening, and it's almost like it's trying to like go towards the air, go towards the mouth, and can't quite decide. So you see almost like a pressure underneath Felix's skin on his neck as this swirling almost shape begins to press underneath his skin. And it presses and presses, and it's probably enough, Felix, that you kind of wince a little bit at the pain. And just before it looks like whatever the substance is going to burst through Felix's skin, it's like it loses cohesion or its ability to move, and then just kind of sinks back. One can survive encounters with the flood, but never unmarked. Felix now has a very interesting glyph tattooed on the side of your neck, but from the inside. If Elaine were Compos Mentis, she would realize it bears some resemblance to one of your other friends. Only she is completely covered. Got a little something. It's like when you go go to spring break and everyone gets tattoos so they can remember the event. Memento. So, someone I think has gotten Anna's bag. Or Anna, you can get your bag if you want to give yourself an exam.
Sure. It's probably near me
Yeah,
somewhere.
I mean, it is relatively near you. You just dropped it when you were being picked up into that final embrace by Professor Watson. So easy enough for you to kind of roll over onto your hands and knees and grab it. Would you like
Is
to?
it easy? Yeah, I want to try.
Yeah. You want to medicine yourself?
Yeah.
Sure.
Ooh, really good. It's a 24 out of 80.
Well, the first thing that occurs to you is that you need stitches, quite a few of them.
Oh, yeah.
The second thing occurs to you is you don't have a pulse. But I think what you also notice is that that doesn't frighten you or make you panic. It's sort of like a interesting phenomenon. That was a very good roll, so I'm going to say those surgeons' hands take over, and everyone else gets to watch as Anna sews herself up. Now, you can't do the back. Can't reach it.
You could reach through her stomach, do the back first, and then do the front.
Yeah, I could do that.
I would say you probably think about it, but the angle isn't quite right. I mean, you'd have to widen the opening.
Oh.
And I will say, in your current state, you think about it, but then realize it might distress your friends. If you if you get a scalpel out and started slashing into yourself, it might freak them out a little bit. And some of them seem like they're a little worried.
Oh, this is so lovely. But everything feels fine.
Yeah.
Guys, I think it'll be okay. I think I'll make a speedy recovery. Probably. I'm mildly... Like, I feel like I should have concerns, but I, at this moment in time, do not feel the concern.
When did you get a giant hole in your stomach?
I think it was when the spider leg impaled me.
When did that happen?
Like, I think like 5 minutes ago.
Well, like 12 seconds ago.
Oh,
12
like
or
12
20 seconds ago. Yeah. All this happened very quickly.
You were Frenching the big like skeleton spider
Yeah, you were
lady.
too busy making out with the
Yeah,
spider
right
lady.
before you made
noticed?
out with the bad lady.
Felix, we need to talk about your sense of situation appropriateness.
PDA,
No,
man, PDA.
Well, sometimes you just have to take one for the team.
Speaking of
As you spit out a
team-
wriggling bit of mold.
Speaking of the team, can we do a roll call? Is everyone here? Look around.
Yeah, Jack's here as he pulls a flask from his vest and takes a long drink.
Minnie toddles over. You realize, oh, there's a missing piece. Oh, there it is over in the corner.
Minnie, what are you doing?
I ignore you.
There it is.
So- Someone with should probably get that who's not currently stitching their stomach up.
Yeah.
Anyone?
I think I want to try and psychologize Minnie.
Yeah.
So like Arson just kind of like goes up and he's just kind of walking. He's not trying to interrupt Minnie as she's like wandering around looking for pieces. He's just kind of like walking and just trying to say like, hey, listen, like it's gonna be cool. Like we'll get all the pieces later. We just need to focus on something else for like just a second. And he's like, trying to coach her through like breathing exercises and just like calm her down.
Give me psychology. Probably followed by a persuade.
Ooh, that is a 4 under 40.
Wow. Okay, so the insight that you get from observing Minnie is that she is, well, she's a little out of it, but I think the insight that you get from that really excellent roll is that she's like on a mission, and that is keeping her grounded, and that interrupting that might negatively impact her ability to cope. You get it's kind of like your Meemaw used to say, never wake a sleepwalker, is kind of the impression that you get.
Do I think it would be it would help expedite her recovery if we all pitched in and helped collect the pieces?
She's very efficient and very mechanically adept. She's nearly done, but you certainly can help to find the last few pieces. Give me a spot hidden.
Yeah.
Just to see if you spot it before Misha does, or before Minnie does.
21 under 66.
Yes, you do. Finger broke off. And had lodged it. At first you thought it was a strange bookmark because it was lying between 2 pages of an open book. And you realize, oh no, that's the finger. Ew. And as Minnie just begins, you're scanning down the broken form of Professor Watson, and you're just realizing that the last piece is missing when Arson comes over and kind of puts it into place. You can now take your photograph.
Yes, I will.
She's setting up the camera.
Oh yeah.
Arson
Someone
is-
stop her. Someone, someone, no.
Take the
Not
picture.
here.
Take the picture.
What if you use like a normal picture, Minnie? Maybe we should save the other ones for the next.
Oh,
when
don't
we
worry,
need
I
it.
have plenty.
Well,
Felix-
do you?
Felix is-
Do you?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I do. I have
Oh,
so much
no.
space radium.
Take the
Table
picture.
table talk question. Does everyone remember what the effect of, for example, Arson's hand was here?
Kind of pushed everything away from it. It was like its own little void, right? In this realm.
And
It was
you remember seeing like ghostly images of trees and birds and other features that
Yeah,
exist
the
in
picture goes to the material plane and not the spooky
Yes.
plane that we're in.
Yes, which
And it
I think
should still be
Minnie
glowing.
understands. So yes, just again to remind, because it's been a bit, the effect is the same in that it penetrates somewhat through that barrier, but the place it's penetrating to is the world that you know, not this world, because you're here. Anyway, just make sure you know that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I feel like Felix would still think that it's the other way. She's gonna open another weird portal to the place we're already at. So he's gonna run in front of the camera and not touch it, but he's gonna run in front of it to like block the whole view of the thing he just destroyed.
Photobomb.
Cool.
Yeah, more or less. But like it's gonna be his entire chest.
Uh-oh.
Sure.
Oh.
So right, I'm gonna say right as Minnie triggers the flash pan, Felix photobombs. That'll be an interesting exposure.
Oh, I think you ruined the shot, Felix. I don't think you realized if you were going to stand in the picture, you could have just walked over because I think you're going to end up a little blurry unless it was quick enough, you know?
Oh yeah, my bad. I just I didn't realize you were
Yeah, don't
actually
worry. I
taking
can
the
take another
photo.
one if you want to stand next to her on the other side. Yeah, just right over there, Not right in front of the camera though, like over to the
But
side.
actually, I kind of like it right here, though. There's like a nice, like a breeze and
A
heat,
nice
like here.
breeze.
Yeah.
I'll just move the camera. Then I'll just move it over this way.
Oh, that's odd that you moved the camera and the breeze moved with it.
Oh,
Interesting.
I don't think wind works like that, Felix.
I mean, we're not on Earth anymore, so I don't know. Who knows here now?
This is not normal wind. It's a strange
Yeah.
wind.
Oh, okay.
It's weird. Every
Well,
time
just
you
one
move the
more. Just
camera-
one more. Just kind of like, just crouch a little.
Minnie,
These
before
plates
you
aren't cheap, you know.
before you take that picture, can you take a look at my hand? Like it was after that.
Oh
whole
yeah, I
thing,
can take a look at your hand.
Yeah. After that thing with Anna, like I'm worried about like what it like. Is it still working all right and everything?
I mean, we probably should take a picture of it because whatever Elaine did, and I'm going to look at Anna, I'm going to look at the hand, I'm going to look back. I'm going to stop looking at Anna because she has a lot of stitches on her right now. So I'm just going to look at the hand. I think, like there was a, like an essence of your being, Anna, it
was her soul.
Okay. Yeah. It went into the hand. It went into the hand. It definitely went
Oh.
into the hand. Like for sure.
Do I like sense any part of myself in the hand? How does this work?
Well, science hasn't really discovered many properties of the soul. I think there was an experiment to determine how much it weighs, but the results were inconclusive. But we could weigh the hand some. I mean, I guess if the hand hurts you, but really your soul maybe wouldn't have an effect on your physical body. It's weird that you woke up though if your soul's over here. I guess it just needs to be near your body. What if you two went far apart? So something weird happened?
Do you need
Well,
to,
I mean, I don't think
put
that's
me
a
on
good idea.
leash? Ooh, I'm so confused.
maybe later.
If you're
but
right,
just
that's
so just be real. I pat your hand, Arson. Just be real careful.
okay. But yeah, I mean, I don't think you need to take a picture of it, but just make sure that it's,
Well,
it's
interesting you say that, and I'll take the picture because I've maneuvered your hand right in front of it while we were talking.
Yeah. I mean, I would make you
Felix
roll
to steal it.
photography, but your photography is insane. So I'm gonna say you probably. Well, go ahead and roll.
But
We'll see how good the
But it
photograph
is
is.
funny though.
We'll see how good the photograph is.
Let's see. What's alphabets?
It's your art craft photography.
Artcraft.
Yeah.
Oh, I did a bad job at taking this picture, so it's going to be a bad picture.
Okay.
Got 82 over 60.
Okay. It's really crappy composition.
Yeah.
And you're moving the camera to try to catch it, and so it's going to be super blurry.
Yeah.
So.
But I won't know that until later.
Yes.
The magic of cameras.
Yes.
Please don't do that again. Just bad things happened the last time you did that.
Well,
Did they?
She's just taken 2 photos and nothing has happened.
Nothing's happened. It's fine here. In fact, it's probably safer here than it is elsewhere. But anyway, we should find the door. Or the key, which might be related to your hand. Actually, she just kind of got sidetracked with your hand.
Hey, can everyone give me a dexterity, please?
Uh-oh.
12 under 80.
Okay.
Success 53 under 80.
37 out of 60.
75 over 60.
Okay.
35 out of 70.
88 over 50.
Okay, I'm going to say that Arson and Elaine, just kind of in the kind of back and forth, sort of wound up close to each other. So as the floor begins to sag, and as you feel a sway, Arson and Elaine lose their feet and begin sliding towards the wall. There's a rain of dust, some small chunks coming from above as the entire building that you're in begins to kind of bend and deflate ever so slightly. What happens?
We should leave.
Yeah, that seems bad.
The camera is being packed away at rapid pace.
Yeah, Arson is scrambling to his feet and trying to make sure he's got everything, looking around to see if there's anything that we missed.
I mean, there's everything in this entire study. Walls covered in strange arcane writings, books, odd implements.
Is there anything around that looks like especially important, like anything like a book or an object that's like got pride of place in the room?
Yeah, you can spot hidden.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I think I want you to roll psychology instead. Because the angle you're taking is more like, is there something that was placed in a way that signifies a meaning, as opposed to like finding something that's not readily apparent?
Mm-hmm.
So give me a
Absolutely.
psychology.
Yeah, that I've got a 40 in that. 10 out of 40.
Hard success. There are a number of items that appear to be like on display, as it were. And you start to think, oh, I've got to grab these things just in case they're important. And then it occurs to you to look around and you stop for a moment, you kind of look around, like she's been living here. And these, like, there's a strange statue on a plinth. There's these weird, I don't know, writing implements, surgical implements kind of in a little bowl, set up almost like one might display a bouquet of flowers. But over in a corner, there's a little comfy chair. Kind of a beaten down red leather that obviously has been well worn. There's a little bit of a throw or something. It's very it's a homey touch. And you see peeking out from under that little blanket a book. The cover glints a little bit in this dim light. There's something metallic about it. And it occurs to you, although you only had moments to observe the professor, but from what you've heard about Anna, that she would have kept the thing truly precious to her near her, as opposed to on display for all to see. So we'll say yes, you run over and grab the book. Anyone else doing anything?
Jack helps Minnie pack up the camera.
Okay.
I feel like Anna would be helping Arson because she knows the mentor, and also just in case I can't be too far away from my soul.
Okay.
Just maybe.
Okay. Test
Well-
the distance.
Well, then for you, if you're also trying to help find anything that might be useful, I think for you, also psychology, but I would give you a bonus, or you could apply, I think, medicine. And medicine is a point where you connect with her.
22 out of 80.
Ooh, for medicine?
Yeah, medicine.
You know that her habit, she was always very fastidious about her implements and would never have left them, the ones that she used, out on display. So you look around for a bag or a basket or something that you think that she would have put her important implements on. And you do, in fact, spot her old doctor's bag. And your guess is that if there's something additional that's important to her, it's likely there.
Bag upgrade.
The building settles and judders as Elaine and Arson clamber. I'm going to say you're the ones that are most affected, as you like, almost like a little bit of seasickness. Everyone else is able to grab onto chairs, but you don't fall down again. All right, what's happening?
I was gonna go ahead and kind of scout ahead, kind of the staircase to go back down, of like where we came up, to see if the staircase is still there.
It is those strange filaments that were connecting the far sides, almost like a spiderweb-ish kind of situation, are also becoming somewhat flaccid as the structure begins to warp. But all those filaments are still in place. It's going to be a fun climb down.
I don't think we have very much time, guys. We need to go.
Let's go.
Yes, let's go.
Let's
Yep,
go.
Jack
Didn't
kind of
we
hurries up and he
run-
tries to help carry stuff.
Cool. Give me dex rolls, everyone.
Felix is going to be the last one out.
Okay.
Didn't we run in here to escape something? Don't worry about it, I guess.
It's fine,
Is that a
probably.
swarm of
I mean,
things?
Elaine turned all of the flying creatures into goop that may or may not have been slowly solidifying outside while you've been up here.
It's fine. I got a 73 out of 50.
Okay.
Jack got a regular success.
Okay.
Yep, 45 out of 70.
Okay, great.
24 under.
23 under 60.
Cool.
24 under 80.
Cool. So Elaine failed. How did Anna do?
I think Anna's coming back from the bathroom.
Okay. Free Major Bane for having a bladder. You're undead now. You don't have to go pee. So, dex roll.
Okay. Ooh, a 46 out of 60.
Cool. So Elaine and Anna fall. But the good news is, as you fall, you're hitting these spars, but the spars are starting to get kind of gooey. So, Elaine. Ooh, that is not a good landing, Elaine. You take 10 points.
Ugh.
The max.
Oh no.
Are you alive?
Yeah, that's half my health, but ugh.
Yeah. Anna takes 5. We'll talk about what health means to you later.
Yeah, I'm a little confused right now.
So Elaine, it's mostly that like you just hit every branch on the way down. So it's no like one single injury. It's just a whole bunch of bumps and bruises. And you probably like crack a rib. It's a lot of pain. Anna just kind of goes limp like a rag doll as you fall. And as Anna hits the ground next to Elaine, there's a very troubling crunching noise. She kind of landed on her head, which is now at a unhealthy angle. Anna, you go to ask Elaine how she's doing, and you're having a hard time. You now know you have to think inhale so you can have oxygen in your lungs so you can breathe to make sound. And it's like something's blocking your ability to breathe in. So you kind of feel around, and I'm going to say, I mean, you're no medicine required because you're not worried about doing any additional harm to the patient. Elaine, you just watch as Anna pulls up on her own neck and kind of wiggles it around and then lets it go. It's not quite right, but you can breathe. And now you can inquire how Elaine's doing.
Does it look like it got back on the right way?
Like, how's my hat? Is it even? How are my
Well, I don't think
vertebrae?
it's
Are they?
backwards.
I can see my own
A
butt.
little bit of a wheeze until she takes another deep breath. Oh, here we go. Sorry.
Oh, hey, the good news is now you can see your back to sew it up. No, it didn't do a full rotation. It probably can now.
I'm either gonna be the best doctor or the worst doctor after this.
As we're going down the stairs, Felix is going to call down and be like, "We don't need anything else up here, right?"
God, I hope not.
Okay.
Please keep running. Please keep running. Arson is kind of bringing up the rear.
Yeah, we
I'm
are
gonna
not
throw-
going back.
I'm going to throw a stick of dynamite in there and blow everything up.
I got
Just so that way
everything
it's
I
not-
need in this doctor's bag.
Okay. Cool. So I assume you're letting other people get farther down.
Correct. That's why I said I was going to be the last one.
Yeah, and so Jack is helping Minnie as this thing begins to deflate faster and sway from side to side. Jack, you're having to like grab Minnie by the waist and kind of help her hoist the camera down. You're probably tempted to, oops, dropped it, but you don't. You make it down to see Anna checking over and prodding Elaine to make sure, like, oh, we're gonna have to wrap that rib, but you're fine. How many fingers am I holding up? What day is it? Who's the president? That kind of stuff. Making sure she's fine. She doesn't appear to be concussed, at least not severely. So you're reasonably certain, Anna, that Elaine is fine, if worse for wear.
You want a Band-Aid? I also have drugs.
No, thank you.
What about like a little pick-me-up pills here?
No,
Hand her a
no.
few pain pills.
Who invited?
There's this great thing. There are these leaves in Central America.
Oh, we know all about the leaves.
No, I'm good. I'm fine. I'll be fine. I'm fine.
Just swallow it real quick.
Nope.
And it pulls out her physician's card and starts cutting on a mirror. Here.
Here, just sniff this.
Right.
It'll help.
Medicinal
Don't
cocaine.
worry. Yeah, just a little bit. She'll
Rub
take
it
a
on
little
your
for
gums, you'll be
herself as
fine.
well. Like, I don't know what this does to a zombified body, but we can find out.
Yeah, nothing. I mean, it increases your heart rate, but it multiplies your heart rate by 1,000, but 1,000 times 0 is still 0.
There's like one lone beat, and it's like,
That was just a piece inside the gaping hole in your torso that worked itself loose and fell. It's not a heartbeat after all. I mean, it was part of your heart, but anyway.
stomach grumble.
So Felix, go ahead and make that throw.
That is a 40 under 67.
Okay, well you make the hole and it doesn't bounce off and then fall down to where all of your friends are. And it was a good roll, so I think you grabbed a stick that had a longer fuse on it to give yourself a chance to kind of controlled fall down, so you're not caught in the blast radius. Before everyone has a chance to scramble out the hole that Elaine or something ripped in the exterior of this building, everyone is blasted by hot air, and you can feel the structure around you shudder and then just start to wibble wobble as a significant portion of what was holding it together just kind of disintegrates in the explosion. There is a loud crash from outside as the top part of this building falls off. And for a moment, the structure regains a bit of its rigidity now that that additional weight has been removed, and then begins to collapse on top of you. So what do you do?
Run.
Run.
Yes, I join with the running.
Can.
Get
Probably
out of
a
the
good
way.
idea. Probably a good idea. Yes. You're right there. You make it out just in time for this thing to kind of sway and then kind of just those roadside balloon men like that, only like you turn the fan off and it just kind of like collapses. There's a few little noises as it kind of deflates into the ground. You can see that the other structures in this city are beginning to likewise deflate.
Huh. I would have thought it would be just this one. Like we killed like the master of this tower or something. It's interesting that they're all going.
Maybe she was in charge of the whole city.
Well, remember when you rang one of them, they all rang.
Well, I mean,
It'd be really
maybe-
convenient
Connected.
if one of them was the doorway.
I mean, so that wasn't. I get, yeah. Well, so where is this doorway? Like, I mean, I feel like we just got ourselves really messed up for nothing here.
I
Like,
mean,
how
I feel
long-
like Anna's a better connection than any of us. I mean, she at this point she's a doorway between whatever she is now and the rest of us.
Before I answer that, is there anything interesting in the doctor's bag that we took?
Implements and samples, yes. Mostly ordinary implements. There's a particular blade, however, that does not seem to be a familiar surgical implement. Seems to be made of a different kind of metal. It also doesn't seem to be particularly sharp.
Ooh.
And when I say blade, it's more like a awl, but instead of being a straight awl like you would punch through leather, it's got a bit of a curve to it. The only sharp point is the tip.
I was hoping there would be like a map or something, but here we are.
There's probably notes and things like that, but in perusing, the one thing that catches your eye is unusual, other than samples of who knows what, and some mostly familiar medical implements is that one strange one.
Well,
Because, like, out of character, we don't really have an idea of where the door is,
No.
right?
no.
At all.
You killed her
And we
before
killed
you had
the
a
person
chance
who
to ask
knew-
her.
Well, I don't think she was going to tell us until someone made the deal.
She wasn't going to tell you. She was going to show you.
Okay.
I
Well,
mean,
Oh.
she didn't.
Probably a good thing she didn't get a chance, but
Maybe it's the
it's entirely possible, Anna, that if you had a good long while to study all of her mad scribblings on the various sheets of paper and on the walls themselves, that you might be able to do something from it. That has been blown to bits.
yeah.
Why I
Maybe the
asked.
hand is like, like a reverse metal detector. Maybe it'll lead us to the door.
How's your hand tell you, Arson?
I don't.
Arson holds up his hand in the wind. He kind of like licks it and holds it up, and just kind of like is looking around, trying
Okay.
to see if he gets any sense of where to go.
Oh, there's a storm a brewing.
Uh-oh.
You don't feel anything with your hand, but you do see thunderclouds on the horizon. Black, thick. Like sometimes in the desert, as a dust storm blows up, you can see a wall, an opaque wall, blowing its way across the chaparral. This is very similar, but the wall is black and utterly opaque.
Y'all see that, right? Like, I'm picturing that he had been, like, everybody had been facing kind of towards the tower that we just came out of, and then like he was like turning around. He's like, "Hey, that wasn't there before. Like, y'all,
Oh, you don't think that's the flood, do you?
oh,
I think whatever that is, it is bad news for us.
Sure is. Maybe we
Yeah.
should just go. What if we just closed one door? That's good enough, right? It won't get Denver then.
Yet.
mean, if we were only going to close one door, then I mean, we couldn't even, we should have not even come.
Well, listen, we thought we could, but obviously we've had some troubles. Let's go somewhere at least. That's not good.
Uh,
You're not gonna agree with Minnie. Let's just close the door to Denver. Deal with the other ones later.
Can I tell how fast the like wall of whatever is coming?
Let's see. What would that be? I think survival.
Like without landmarks to see
Yeah.
like the scale
But you've
of
been,
things
but
is
you've
probably
been in
gonna be
the,
hard.
but you've been, in the desert. You've been in wide open. This is not utterly unfamiliar to you, so I think survival would work. Not a hard roll, just a regular.
Well, I've got a 10 in survival, so this is
Oh.
probably gonna fail.
Well, is there
56 over 10.
natural world would work? Although that's not really a natural world. Yeah, you're not
Yeah.
sure. It's either very, very large and moving very, very fast, or it's small and close and moving at a leisurely pace.
Okay, I think it's. I say that, and nothing about this place seems small. I have a feeling it's big.
I mean, it kind of stretches from horizon to horizon.
Yeah.
So your guess is that it's probably real big and moving very fast. We'll say the camera, as you're having these conversations, the camera switches to a drone view, shot down, as you're all talking about where should we go, and then your voices fade as the camera lifts up and 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 up until you can see the curvature of this strange celestial body hanging in this very kind of sickly and agitated cosmos. And what we're seeing is a line of dark, like a Terminator of day and night, cutting across the entire hemisphere of this globe. So the audience realizes that to answer Arson's question, it's very big.
Elaine, is there anything you can do to like open that door back up and get us out of here?
Didn't we just walk through? We left it open, right?
Well, I mean,
Close it.
Oh, there was nothing there. No. When you came in, you just appeared on scraggly desert, basically. There is no portal.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no. I'm a little spent. So no, probably not.
well, what if we just started going in the direction that it's not and figure it out along the
Yeah,
way?
that sounds good. We'll just run away from it.
We need to find the other statue waypoint and unlock it, and then we can go.
Well, the good news
And we
is,
can fast travel.
yeah, the way that
Yeah.
you came is the opposite direction. It appears to be heading from the opposite direction. As you're having this conversation, Arson, you can see that what was like a straight line of darkness seems to be bulging in the center, as if the part closest to you is moving faster. You can even see near it vortices spinning up as it displaces a lot of air in just this fine, thin atmosphere and fine dust that seems to coat everything. That kind of sticky, weird alkali sort of dust is spinning up these devils by its passage. You can probably begin to perceive a thrumming in the ground beneath you.
As we're all kind of just standing here watching this thing, I think Felix is gonna dig into his backpack and grab up one of the bottles of whiskey and take a swig and go, "Does anybody want one?"
Yeah.
Arson takes it.
I want to try.
It just like pours out.
It
between
pours out the
Anna's
front. It
stitches.
just kind of sprays out of
Just
the.
like a little bit through the
between
front.
the-
The rest of it's
between
just
the
coming out the
sutures.
back
Yeah.
like a water fountain.
Yeah.
That I think there's something I forgot to stitch up inside. If that's happening, I'll fix that later.
Is that gonna happen with the food too?
You know, I hope not. That would be a real shame.
You're
Well,
not
we might not
remotely.
live to find out.
You're not remotely hungry, Anna. Yet.
I'm not hungry.
Uh-oh.
I'm
Uh-oh.
again. I feel like there should be concern, but everything feels a little absent. So, but it's like I'm aware that there should be, but it's not there.
So we just gonna
Yeah,
let
we
it
need
wash
to go.
over us, or are we gonna go the opposite way a bit?
I think it's go the opposite way as quick as we can. I just don't think we're gonna be able to go very quick.
We'll figure it out.
Better than just sitting here.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
go.
I mean, it's probably 20 miles away at this point. Arson caught it as it was cresting the horizon. But it's moving fast.
Mm,
And there aren't exactly like rocks or trees to shield us from it.
No. There are those strange, sinister mountains in the opposite direction, but you don't know how far away those are.
They're probably also very far away.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, they won't be closer unless we start headed that way.
mhm.
Start walking that way and look over our shoulders and be like, wow, it's closer.
Yeah. And I'm
Wow, it's
gonna
closer.
I'm gonna say that the walk becomes a jog. The jog maybe becomes a run. So, I'm curious if your plan is to just keep running until it catches up with you.
Well, no.
I think
mean,
unless Jack
yes, unless we-
sees something else for them to like hide in, like some kind of crevice or valley or something.
No. It's just this it's not like absolutely perfectly flat, but it is effectively featureless. You can see your own footsteps. I mean, that's probably the most interesting thing as you effectively retrace your steps. You can see your own boot prints in the cloying dust.
Wait, what?
Well, there goes my plan of sneaking up on it.
You came from roughly this direction, and I think just
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
just
When you said that, I thought you were saying that we were just like running in
Oh, no.
place and we were able to see our footsteps as we're.
Oh.
Okay. Like we're kind of like looping in like a small
We're not,
little area.
if only.
I want to have a little chat with my buddy, see if he's got any suggestions for things that we could do.
I think your buddy would say, you have what you need. You brought it with you.
What is it?
Is it space radium? Because
Is
it
it
goes
space-
to
yeah, is
the
it
other
arson?
side. Listen, my answer is always space radium, but it does take pictures to the real world.
we maybe possibly have a key to open a door.
You have a key.
We have a key. Well,
Hmm.
sort of. We have a key. Stares at Arson.
Yeah, I think like while y'all have been walking, I think Arson had, because like it's been less than an hour since he lit up his hand. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So like it's still got that, like he never turned it off.
Yeah.
And so he's seeing like the illusory bushes and like, you know, trees and stuff of the real world pass them by. And I think when Elaine says that, like, we brought it with us, he like stopped and he's like, the hand, right? Like, can we take the
said it was a
radium
key.
out of the hand, or leave the hand behind, or blow it up, or do something?
Don't do those last two, I don't think.
Hey, Arson,
well,
try to take it off again.
I don't
Okay.
think that's necessary.
Arson reaches down and grips
Okay.
it.
Would you like to hack it off or otherwise force it off? As you start to pull, it's like, and you look and you can see those veins are, and frankly the clean line between the metal and your skin, it's not as easy to tell where one stops and the other begins. You think you could remove it with a machete or an axe.
Mm-hmm. Do any of us have? Because I know that like Anna has scalpels. I think a couple of people have knives. Felix, do you have that machete still?
Yeah, I do. Go ahead and put down my bag, pull it out.
Arson puts his hand down on a rock and kind of positions it so like the wrist is like sticking out from the rock.
Why are you trying to cut it off? Wait, hang on, slow down. We have not explored other options yet.
Listen, I don't know. Just, I mean, like, look at that. Like, it's, I don't know. I'm like, we've been walking for like 20 minutes. That thing's
Oh God,
only
no!
getting closer.
You would be in the flood. It was 20 minutes. It's been like 2 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, like, we're walking, it's just getting closer. We're not walking faster than that. Like, there's no buildings, there's no animals, there's no caves,
Well, you tried making light with it and that worked, so just try making a portal.
And it's
Like, do
it's
magic.
still glowing. Jack, you were looking around. Jack, so go ahead and give me a spot hidden, since you explicitly said that you were looking around for anything to hide in, and there aren't any caves or crevices, but
Jack will use 4 points of luck to make that an extreme success.
perfect. How much luck do you have left, by the way?
5.
Unbelievably perfect. Cool. So, as Arson is gesticulating and like, oh, I don't know, just cut it off. He's clearly not thinking straight. You catch something out of the corner of your eye, like a flash. And you turn and look in that direction. The next time Arson gesticulates, you see just the barest outline of a circle. And it strikes you because it's like clearly a circle. It's not a circular shape. It's like a very perfect circle, absent like the bottom like bit. And it's quite large, as tall as 2 men standing on top of each other. And then of course Arson moves his hand and you don't see it anymore.
Hey, Arson, hold that thought. I'm not saying it's a bad idea, but come over here for a second and wave your hand again.
Sure, okay. I mean, yeah, Felix, get that knife ready. And Arson comes, like he's walking over and he's kind of, like trying to he's holding up a like a lantern or a torch or something. He's kind of like seeing what's around. What did you see something?
As soon as you come a couple of feet closer, because Jack knows what he's looking for, he sees it first. It's a water wheel. And as Arson moves even closer, you can start to perceive the sort of shimmering image of a stone wall round, to which the water wheel is affixed.
Hey, is this the house? The house that has caused us so many problems? The house where the flood has approached before? And has
The
entered
house
it?
with the like cursed millstone that puts flood into all the flour that it makes?
Yeah. That one.
I mean, it would make sense for the other door to be here, right?
Guess the flood just doesn't come from nowhere.
I mean, at least it's a way out from that.
Yeah. Arson is walking forward. He's trying to see if he can like find other parts of the mill house, like besides the water wheel.
It's a little odd because as you move past, like as you move towards the water wheel, the image of the ground on the other side begins to dip below your feet into that little ravine with the stream. So you have a moment of vertigo where you're walking on something solid, but it looks like there's something below. And as you cross over and move further in the direction of where the now ruined house sits, it's on a hill. So what you see is the slope going upward. And you probably can get just close enough holding your hand up that you can start to see a few bits of broken wood from where the house stood, which is probably a good, 15, 20 feet above your head. And in fact, the ground that you're standing on is actually on a bit of a decline here. So as you go a little bit further, the distance to the house or the image of the house gets greater and greater and eventually is no longer in your sight.
Didn't you all say you went into a hole in the mill house? You went down into the ground?
Yeah, we all just did that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how we got here.
Yeah. In the actual house itself, not the mill. And that's the house that you're seeing, the ruined house that you're seeing.
Oh, I see.
Is not quite directly above you, but it's above you now.
So if we keep going this way, will we hit, will we see through the ground to the stuff that was under the house?
Only one way to find out.
Yeah. Let's go. Okay. Let's go. It's this way, I think, because the house is there. So if we go down, yeah, it's gotta be that way.
And you move in that direction. There is a statue. It appears before you. It is not a double image. The statue with the glyphs on it. As soon as the light of your hand falls on it, it's almost like it solidifies in this space. So in one view, there's this open waste, a little bit of a depression, this open wasteland with this statue. And in another view, you can see the faint echo of that dome room that it sits in your world. You can also feel a breeze coming from behind you. And that rumbling now almost has a voice. There's a hissing, shushing kind of sound to it. It's very close.
They're going to run up to the statue and be like, I got this one, Anna, and then start trying to trace the backside of the statue.
I can still use my hands perfectly well, thank you.
You go to touch the statue and your hand passes through.
No.
Arson, come here.
Arson reaches up to touch the statue.
I'm going to say you feel a moment's resistance if you're using your right hand. You feel a moment's resistance. And as your hand passes through the space, it's like the air there is thicker. But you can't quite make contact.
No, it's
Elaine.
Yeah.
A voice like an open grave in your mind, your friend, says, sacrifice and luck.
Okay. Gonna go to the statue. And I'm gonna touch it. I'm gonna start tracing the symbols in it. And I'm just gonna look at everybody and I'm just going to very calmly say, go.
So, you go to touch it. Your hand passes through. I'm not done with you yet.
No. I'm gonna look at Jack.
His time is soon.
Well, I did say it was a one-way trip, didn't I?
One of you and then it will stop. And I will say, your eye catches on the glowing blue crystal in Arson's hand and what it contains.
Oh no. Oh.
We have to do what has to be done.
I'm just like staring at Arson's hand and then looking at Anna and then back at the hand and then at Arson and then back at Anna and then back at the hand and just like,
If we leave the hand here, what does that mean for Anna?
I'll figure it out.
Because I am a kind and supportive keeper, I will say your friend says the hand cannot remain.
The hand cannot what?
The hand cannot remain.
Oh, okay.
Like, you just gotta, like, blast it with some soul juice, and then you can get out.
I mean, I don't know if I'll. I mean, I could try and just turn it up to 11 and see what happens.
For the shot, but I don't think that's how his story's gonna end.
What do you do?
I can't get the. Okay. Because I don't think Arson really knows how this thing works.
No.
Absolutely not at all.
But you know it responds to your intent.
Yeah. Oh.
And that it has the ability to absorb strange energies and bridge the gap between worlds, at least to some extent.
And souls. Don't forget about that one.
I mean, if the hand can't stay, and we need a sacrifice. I mean, it's gotta be me. I think. He kind of like contemplates for a moment, and then he like lifts the hand in front of his face, and he's gonna concentrate really, really hard, and like he's trying to focus all of his like remaining like. He hasn't really been tuned into the like magic that's in his hand for more than like a day or two, so he's winging it.
Yeah.
But try and like whatever energy he's been able to feel, channel it into the hand with the intention of like disengage, leave, like separate.
Okay. Give me a hard power roll.
Ooh. That's a 90 over 70.
Cool. Hey, Anna, why
Yeah.
don't you give me a power roll?
Okay. A 2 out of 60.
The dice are poetic tonight. Arson, you focus. And it's just like you're so tired and confused and like just literally grasping at straws. Like your mind just can't. You're good at solving problems. You're good at figuring things out and investigating and anticipating, and like it's all been so much that you have a moment where you just feel powerless, and even this thing doesn't seem to listen or seem to respond to your will or your intent. But there's another intent there. There's a feeling of fondness and completion as the hand that you've been looking at like this, click, 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 turns and moves itself toward the statue. And Minnie, you've seen the light. Or you thought you had. Because what begins to spring forth from Arson's hand is, it makes what you thought was perfection seem drab and mundane. It is pure. It is as close to someone of your beliefs can get to divine. And as that energy washes out, the statue begins to animate, its arms reaching up, its face moving forward, looking up now at this swirling monstrosity of a cosmos above it. Arson, you find yourself in a white space with Anna. Anna, do you have any final words?
Yeah. Oh god, I'm gonna cry. I'm glad I have tissues now. Oh. Okay. I like to imagine when they're in this white space, Anna's not a zombie.
No, this is actual
She's-
Anna.
She's
Yes.
actual. She's not holy anymore, but whole,
Mm-hmm.
complete. Well, listen, I know it's not how you maybe wanted it to go, and I'm really sorry for that, but I mean, even from the beginning, when we met back up and were just living through, trying to get through normal life after, our first adventure and everything we went through there, you have become like the most important person to me. And I cannot rest and I cannot relax if you're not getting out of this. Because you are so good and you are so kind. And everything that we have gone through, to be fair, neither of us deserve, but it's a little outside the realm of karma. But I think that you still deserve more of a chance than like anyone to move past that. And like, now you can hang out with Jack and keep him out of trouble. tell him I'm sorry for saying I didn't know him. I just thought that maybe they would leave him alone if I was like, no, we've had 2 conversations. But I'm not very good with words. I think we've all known that from the start. So, and then as a lack of words, Anna will just kiss him.
I think during that conversation, like Arson had come forward and they had been like not even realizing it. They had slowly started like holding hands, just kind of like looking at each other. Yeah, and like after a moment when they like they come out for breath and they pull away for a second, and he's like, I wanted nothing but more time together.
Well,
I don't want to leave, but I think I might have to.
you'll always have a piece of me with you, whether you know it or not, whether it's an actual fragment of my soul or the figurative representation of it. I'll always be there, like, take care of you. And you can carry on my medicine bag. You can have my drugs. We'll always be together in that form. But, and I think Anna's gonna start, like, trying not to cry and, like, wipe away any tears that are showing up. Because she said, because I wanted more time too. But now you just gotta go spend all of that time for the both of us.
I think probably the last thing that Arson says is he's like just like holding on to Anna at this point. He's kind of just like got his head on his shoulders, like, I'm gonna miss you, Anna. I love you, Anna.
I love you too.
And Anna turns and steps into the statue, taking the same position. But instead of a scream of madness, it's a single crystal clear note of song that encompasses friendship, companionship, struggle, love, family, and home. In that flash of white light, you're all blinded. And as you blink into near absolute darkness, just a bit of a glow coming from Arson's hand, you are in a domed chamber underground, standing around a now broken statue. Oh, Anna, you're there. You're fine. You might be wondering why Arson looks so sad.
That's just cruel. That's so cruel.
You said you would always be with him to look out for him. I told you that I was benevolent. That's what you wanted. That's what you got.
The monkey's paw curls in.
Get the wand and not let anyone steal me. Like in Baldur's Gate. Hey guys, we got out. That was so great, right?
Yeah. I am going to say, you do feel a little hungry, Anna. So, what happens?
Can we get lunch? I'm really hungry. I think food would help. What am I hungry for?
You know what you're hungry for, Katie.
You're not sure. You think it's like tomato sandwich? No. Baked beans? No. There's something though.
We may
Anyway.
be onto something with the tomato. It's squishy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we may be onto something there.
How about some fish? I could really go for some fish.
Ooh, like
we're
fish?
still in the creepy basement.
Yeah.
Get out
It's
of
full
here.
of
River
zombies
nearby.
and things, and we're just like hoping that wave of darkness doesn't open here.
Destroyed the statue. It's probably fine.
As you look around, I'm sure Felix has the presence of mind to light a lantern or something so people can see. The strange whirling sigils on the ceiling are present, but they are not moving. The aura of otherness that had previously pervaded the space is dispelled. Felix, you probably want to blow this place up. I mean, I'm not telling you what your character thinks, but I think we both agree your character's probably like, okay, look, y'all get out. I'm blowing this place up.
He does have so much dynamite. Why wouldn't he use it?
Yeah.
We'll have to use it. It goes bad. otherwise.
Have fun. I'm leaving.
So as the group trudges up, with Felix pausing kind of midway up to draw out a line of fuse and light it and catch up with the rest, you clear the passageway. The dynamite goes off. There's a big poof of dust, foul smelling. And at first nothing happens, and then you can see the top part of the hill just begin to slowly collapse, filling the cavity below. Now, there was that whole other direction, and who knows what else is down there. But for now, at least, that problem appears to be solved. You make your way back to town. And being near arson seems to help distract you from hunger. It's the closest thing, but unlike previously, where being near arson made everything seem fine, there's just this nagging. You're going to want to do something about that at some point. Minnie, that light, the power to rend worlds or seal them is absolutely all-encompassing. You are awash in inspiration, not in what you can do with it, but on what the next steps are to understand it. And you keep having that vision of rolling white sands and flashes of light, the grand illumination. And you're a step closer to understanding it. Elaine, your friend, the feeling you get is anticipation. Now that you're back where he wants to be, there's so much for him to experience. Arson, you feel the ghostly touch of Anna's lips on your cheek. You hear the echo of that admission of what you meant to her. And every time you look at Anna walking along beside you, you can't help but do this. In memory of what you've lost, but maybe not. Felix, you keep scratching at this. Like you haven't seen it yet, but it's just like, and you can almost feel like there's a little bit of a, maybe you're getting a rash or something. Jack, you're fine. You're absolutely fine. Your luck has carried you through once again. You return to Denver. Probably go back to the hotel and just collapse, right? Wake one by one, clean yourselves up. There's probably not a whole lot of conversation at first, as everyone's a bit shell-shocked. Damon arrives at the hotel the next day. Some repairmen are at Mr. Forrest's house. He is most anxious to see Anna. And when he does, a tear rolls down his face. And then he kind of brushes it away and greets you in a normal fashion. But he knows. You meet with Mr. Forrest. You provide him with some version of what happened, based on previous experience, very jumbled, leaving out very important details. But he is satisfied with the report that whatever eldritch threat was amassing has been delayed, if not dealt with. He can get about his important business. You all receive checks for $500 as a bonus. I think he probably eyes that mark on your neck a bit, Felix, and probably tells you that while he appreciates your contribution, he's probably not going to want to hang around with people who have been so deeply embroiled in the strange that it's probably best for he and his society to lie low. So he hopes that you will take your hard-earned pay and make yourself scarce. Maybe hop a train to Yuma. He's heard there's interesting things going on there.
I think Felix would probably just kind of look at him and just kind of nod his head to go. I think I'm gonna probably stick with the group.
Anna's
That's what
gonna
I'm gonna
try
do.
to eat her check while they're talking about that.
That's not gonna work.
No.
It's not
Yuma,
remote.
huh? The
It's-
desert, huh?
It's not remotely. Well, I've got some
Seems
friends
like
there.
a neat place to check out. White Sands, White Sands.
White Sands, what are you like?
Don't worry about it.
So,
California has white sands.
so does New Mexico. And maybe there's a bit of a scene as Minnie visits the library again, looking for, like, there's something about White Sands. And in fact, you do find mention of White Sands in New Mexico. So, where you all decide to go is something we can figure out next time. But we'll say the second to last scene is you all boarding a train. It's apparent that a few days have passed. Elaine's bruises from falling in the tower they look awful, but they're obviously on the heal. They're that color of yellow that suggests that you're over the hump and they're healing. Anna has taken to wearing a very high collar to support your ever so slightly floppy neck every now and then. I'm going to say you probably, with some assistance, helped to talk someone through stitching up the giant hole in your back. Whether you have satisfied your hunger yet is to be determined. Your mark isn't itching as much, Felix. As a matter of fact, the interesting thing is when you're by yourself, you don't notice it. But when you were near Damon, it itched the dickens. When you're near Anna, it itches a lot. I mean, not so much that it's distracting, but you begin to notice that it seems to be periodic in when it bothers you. I will even say there's a moment as you're gathering up, probably replacing your dynamite, where the camera sees a woman walk behind you, and we just see you kind of absently reach up and scratch it. The camera zooms in. That woman has one hand that's a little bit larger than it ought to be.
The loose ends. Oh, did those pictures turn out good at all? Anything interesting? Or just blurry?
So the first glance that you get at them. So what another kind of flashback. So after you cleaned up and gotten some rest, you developed those plates. And at first you were you're probably questioning your own sanity and your memory as to like how much of that was real, etc. And the pictures don't help at all because they're just big blurry masses. And then something catches your eye and you pull out a loop, like a jeweler's loop. There's a photographer's loop, which is, same general thing. And what you find marked onto the plate is those strange mathematics that you heard Elaine mention that she saw. That what seemed to be a blur, which is in fact a blur, but there's a under image, almost like equations. They're a little bit out of your grasp, but you can tell with study, you might be able to decipher them. So
I'm going to learn so much physics, y'all.
yes, far from being a disappointment. It probably was a good thing from your perspective that all it was a blur, because otherwise you might never have noticed that space and energy seems to have imprinted itself on the plates. You have the mathematical equation of some other world and its relationship to this world graven into silver and a little bit of radium from a meteorite.
Now, is that the picture of my chest?
It was both of them. They were both real blurry. The picture of your chest didn't capture your neck, so who knows what it would have seen. So once again, everyone is changed. Everyone is affected. Their lives will never be the same, except Jack. Jack.
Mm-hmm.
You don't do well on trains. It's the sound, the motion, and you don't do well doing nothing. But this is a passenger train. And you can tell from your room, which based on all the money you guys now have, you can afford some nice cabins. You hear a little bit of raucous laughter. A little bit, oh, dang it. You cheater. Like you know the sounds of a game. So, nothing better to do. Toddle on out. Make your way to the car where some gentlemen have set up a friendly game. And what a better way to while away your time. So, the game does not go well for you. The reserves of luck that you draw on seem to be low. And quickly your $500 is whittled down to 3, then to 1, then to 5. Now, you are up against, and you realize it too late, you are up against an excellent poker player. Just a guy. I mean, he's dressed nice, but not too nice. He's clean, but not too clean. Seems smart, but not too smart. Just real regular. But he is a sharp. and he has pulled you in. He has also, by the way, pulled everyone else in. And you are the last one at the table come 3 a.m. And this man leans back away from the lamp that's illuminating the game table. He leans back into the shadow, so all you can see is his mouth and a little bit of glint of candlelight in his eyes. You know, I don't like taking a man's last dollar. Doesn't seem sporting. I'm sure you don't want to make it to wherever you're going and not have a penny to your name.
That's mighty kind. I'd rather not.
Well, how about you and I make it a little more interesting? Raise the stakes, as they say. You may not know it to look at me, but money don't mean much to a man like me.
And what kind of man are you? I just realized we've had a wonderful time playing cards and I never caught your name.
I'm just a simple traveling man by name of Jack. Lucky Jack, they call me.
Well, Jack, I am very interested in your offer.
Well, you know, I have to admit I've taken some unfair advantage. I am most skilled in games of cards, dice, and most things. It's almost like I can see the way the cards are going to fall. But there's one thing that could even us out. Flip of a coin. Simple luck.
That's quite the wager.
Well, you know what, friend? I'm feeling generous. I'm willing to stake you. And he pushes this massive pile into the center. I win. Take it all and we part friends. You win. Hey, maybe you're Lucky Jack.
Never felt so lucky in my life.
All right. He leans back again. The candlelight in his eyes doesn't flicker with the lamp. He reaches into his waistcoat pocket and pulls out a coin. Gold. Spins it between his fingers in a mesmerizing way. Takes it, and in a rapid motion before you're even ready, flicks it into the air, and he leans forward to you, very intense, and says, heads or tails?
Heads.
He steps back. The coin hangs in the air, spinning. Falls down. And is spinning on the surface. Perfectly. Begins to walk a little bit towards you and towards him. Starts to wobble. He's going to fall and then picks back up. And as it begins to fall, the camera closes down to a moment and goes black as we hear the thud of the coin on the face that it actually lands on. And that is where we'll end this story arc and this session. Hey, Anna, you're dead. But you're better.
Well,
But you don't care.
She got better.
if I had a soul, I feel like someone should probably just get rid of the body, but I don't have a soul, so I'm
Yeah,
just
exactly.
chilling.
You weren't exactly using it. So you are, to be clear, you are the thing that was Anna. right?
I guess. Yeah.
I mean, as far as you understand, you are Anna, but you're like what's left of Anna. It's a whole situation.
What a rude soul to just go and leave me here. Wow.
Boy, this brings up a lot of theological questions. Good thing I'm focused on something else right now.
Different theology for many.
Yep. So
I can't wait till I get to the point where I'm like, but if it's powered with soul energy, the light will be even more powerful.
Oh,
It is
The
no.
problem. That is a conclusion that I'm going to
Anyways.
come to, y'all, just so you know.
Let's kill a lot of people.
I
The
know
big bad
exactly
evil
how to
guy
do it.
of
No.
campaign 3 is many.
Yep. So all of your lives have gotten a little bit more interesting. I think we will see when we pick this back up, because I'm sure we're going to pick this back up, that we're just learning how interesting these folks' lives are becoming. And we'll probably pick up with what happened to Jack in that poker game, because it was really interesting and super problematic. So enjoy.
Uh-huh.
So
I mean, I was waiting for a golden fiddle to come out, so a coin is nice.
Yeah. I mean, golden fiddle, how passe.
I mean, I'm just waiting for Jack to come back, but he acts a little different and his eyes no longer have the same sparkle as they used to.
Depends
You
on
know.
whether it was heads or tails.
I guess so.
And depends on whether winning or losing is the best outcome.
Also that.
Like, I legit don't know, because you're going to have to flip the coin and find out.
I'll figure it out.
So is Jack at like 0 luck points now?
No, I have exactly 5.
Yeah.
Which is basically 0.
Basically 0, yeah.
Basically 0.
Less than a minor boon.
Like one last gasp.
It's close. Once someone reaches 0 luck, there's not much you can do. But when you're real close, sometimes folks make desperate bets. And sometimes they win.
Sometimes winning doesn't taste so good.
Yeah. Sometimes the only thing worse than winning is losing. So yeah, we'll see. So yeah, it's great. It's great. We've got like the first paragraph of the Book of the Flood tattooed on Felix's neck. We'll see if that does anything. And let's not forget Elaine. You got a whole bunch of stuff to do.
So many things. I can't wait to see what bucket list an Eldritch being has.
Yeah.
I bet it'll be like a really nice, feel-good family movie.
Hey, Elaine's gonna have her own like break-off TV series.
Yeah.
Go on train rides and go to the amusement park and go on the boardwalk.
Yeah.
It'll
Become
be
the
so
Swamp
fun.
Thing, and then run away to live in the Appalachians when I get chased out of Chow.
Yes. And Arson this entire time thought he was becoming Iron Man. He didn't realize he was becoming Venom.
It's true.
So
I just got to stay away from church bells.
right.
Also, I just remembered we left Madame Selene just kind of like chilling in a grave somewhere.
I think probably my guess is that Mr. Forrest dug her up and probably put her in a glass coffin in his basement or something for
Ooh,
some
yeah,
future
basement coffins
generation
are
to
good.
uncover.
Yeah.
Maybe a strange shipment will be sent to the offices of Syntech in Willow Bluff.
Oh,
Like, is this a
no.
mummy? What is this? What is strange
What is
writing?
this?
Oh no.
Let's decipher it.
Yep.
In the middle of town. Anyways, tune in for PA Pep Club Part 2.
100%. 100%. Cool. Well done, everyone. Love the kind of emotional denouement, the farewell of sacrifice of Anna's the part of Anna that didn't really matter in the soul. Yeah. And I'm very curious to see where you guys go, what has happened to you, and what kind of even worse things I can throw at you next time. So cool. Awesome. Well, thanks everyone for coming, and thanks Maddie for the raids, and thanks everyone for like subs and bits and stuff that you just don't have to do, by the way. We just do this for fun, or I just do this for fun. And it's an opportunity to torture people and get out all my frustrations. So thank you all for being participants in that. Let's do the round robin and say bye to everyone and let people know where they can see you next and all that good stuff. Let's start with you first, Katie.
Well, this is where I come to get traumatized and have fun while doing it. And when I'm not here, I am on everyone else's channel. I hang out in Juices a lot. Sometimes I stream. Now that I have days off that are regular, it's fun. But otherwise, I'll be in Tough Stream or Chubs or anyone that just kind of hangs around. So, yeah.
Hey everybody, I'm Chev. You can usually find me at hanging around in people's chats. I also stream twice a week on Tuesdays and Saturdays usually. I play Mahjong, which is a card game. So, and I, have usually some chill music and some cat cam and, just playing some card games, having some fun on the internet. If that sounds like your jam, I would love to have people stop by. Villain.
I'm your only villain or villain. Actually, I just started streaming. So I am currently streaming Fallout 4. Our start time will be typically about 3:30ish Eastern Standard Time. Not as much going on, still kind of fairly new to it, but I also hang out in Juice's chat and everybody else's as well.
All right. Hi, I'm 98 Tough Love, Tough Torfleton, some other variety of nickname. You can catch me over on twitch.tv/98 Tough Love. I stream there sometimes. I did stream the other day, so it hasn't been as long as it was before. I will also, I think I'm playing Enshrouded with Juice tomorrow, so you can catch me over on the Juice TV program. Otherwise, I'm usually here playing games all the time because it's great and I enjoy it and it's fun. Thank you, Zero, and go Mish.
I'm Misha_less_than 3 here on Twitch. I'm usually hanging out at the Juices TV program or here. I'm hoping that we can get a drop-in game scheduled this week, maybe. So look at the Discord immediately after this,
Yes.
where I propose we do something.
Yes.
Perhaps on Saturday. So
Yes.
Also working on getting Burial Grounds scheduled. So we'll see where that is. Erthos.
Hey everybody, I am Erthos or Lord Erthos. Haven't streamed on Twitch in like 3 or 4 years, but you can find me in chats here in C+ content, Justice, honestly like everybody here who streams. So you'll see me around causing, hopefully, laughs, hijinks, and good times.
Awesome.
Zero.
Cool. Well, thank you so much. Again, everyone. Oh, and I'm Zero. Yeah, I'm here. And I'm also other places where people say that my name 3 times and I appear. And then make fun of them and stuff and talk about random stuff. So we've got some kind of drop in more episodic games with larger cast of characters, but no more people, so we can kind of rotate, make it easy to schedule. Both another Call of Cthulhu, but traditional Call of Cthulhu, set in the 1920s, kind of a globe trotting situation there with high stakes and eldritch horror and madness. And then a post-apocalyptic game that I recently decided we'll be using the Real Thing system. So it's a very familiar system. It's one that they just recently did an expansion via Kickstarter. So we were fortunate enough to have one of the writers and creators on with us a while ago when they were doing the first round. The book is a really great Powered by the Apocalypse system. Definitely go check it out. The first book is available for sale retail right now. It has a really great mechanism of like flashbacks. And I love that for a, post-apocalyptic zombie apocalypse world where when something important happens, you have a flashback to like what life was like before or the early days of the apocalypse as a way of revealing the characters. So after hunting for a system to tell that kind of episodic, kind of The Last of Us sort of story in, it's like, oh, well, we already know one, and it's by people that we really appreciate and admire. So cool. And either of those are open to really anyone who has who's nice, and fun, and has a decent camera and a good mic. So head on over to community.c+content.tv, which is our Discord. Head to the C+ Next channel. There's a spreadsheet there with all kinds of stuff to sign up for. There's a tab on that spreadsheet specifically for the drop-in games. All you got to do is add your name to that. And there are public channels, unlike all these games that are private channels. There are public channels where we can discuss and plan and things like that. So, and thank you to Misha for all the work that you do and all the great apps that you and our RNC build to help keep this organized and moving forward. So much appreciated. Also, hi, Rith. Cool. So yeah, I think we should, again, thank you everyone. Go hang out with someone, and our friends over at the Lollygaggers are actually playing the Marvel Multiverse RPG, which is a nice kind of tone change from all the horror and emotions and gravitas that we've been through tonight. So I propose we go hang out with them and see them playing. It's the new Marvel game. So we'll see if it's any good. So thanks for dropping in those raid calls. I should, the Lollygaggers. Oh, I was supposed to say goodbye to the people on YouTube first. Oh, well, it's fine. You guys can come raid
You're
with us.
coming with us, YouTube.
Yeah. You're going to come back in time. And go hang
Don't
out with
stop the
Lollygaggers.
video here.
Go on
Keep
this
watching.
raid.
Something's going to happen. I promise.
Yeah, it'll
Go to
Definitely.
this. Yeah,
For sure.
No,
It'll just go dead. It's fine.
It'll just go dead. It's fine.
Cool.
We can pretend that there's
You
like
can
a
come with us,
lost
though. Come with
ending
us.
that we can find later.
Right.
Lost ending,
Different
just
video.
like Anna's soul.
Yeah.
Well, so the raid call's going. Let's say bye. Bye, everybody.